Hey again guys, Mr. T here. So our example report is at the stage of just finishing the method. We've written the method so that people could carry out our method and see for themselves if they get similar or different results. So the next section, according to your report scaffold, will be the mathematical calculations. This is a section for your working out. And you need to communicate the working out properly as shown below. So you need to introduce the calculations by telling the reader why the maths is used and why it's useful. Show the maths calculations, show formula and working out. If it's repeated calculations, you do this for your first calculation, which is known as the model calculation. But any repeats can go in the appendices. So you'll remember that we've used a spreadsheet to do our maths. There's no evidence here that you know how to do the mean, median and mode, or the range and the quartile range, etc. because it's been done for you by putting the formula in. So I'm going to show you in this video how to show evidence of maths in a report like this when you use a spreadsheet. Display results in appropriate ways, give figure labels, fully labeled graphs, tables, diagrams. You don't put the raw data here. The raw data is in your data collection sheet anyway. That can go at the end of the assignment in the appendices, but this is about telling me what your maths is and why it's useful, and then showing a model calculation. So let's scroll down. Method, mathematical calculations. So the first important statistics calculated were the measures of center, the mean, median, and mode. So you're telling the reader what the mean is. The mean is the mathematical center of the data set. It is calculated by adding all the data values together, then dividing by the number of data values. It can be found with this formula, which is the one that I taught you. So in Word, you go insert equation mean equals, go to the fraction settings, sum of all data over number of data values. So that's just showing the formula. That's just showing you're aware of what the formula is, but you need a model calculation to show that you can find the mean in this assignment. So a model calculation for finding the mean is as below. Now what are you going to find the mean of? You can find the mean of anything, but you might as well use data that's in your assignment. So I'm going to use one of these. 412, I'm going to use the first person. 412 plus 266 plus 269 divided by the number of data that I added together was 3 equals 315.67 rounded to 2 decimal points. There you have evidence that you know how to find the mean. Okay, that is what a model calculation is there for. It's to show that you can do the maths one time. Why are we doing it one time? Because you did it many times and you don't have space to do all this maths over and over again in the calculations area. So you're showing it once and then your spreadsheet takes care of the rest. Next, the median is the positional center of the data set. It is calculated with its position. Sorry, you don't actually find the median. Its position is found with the formula below. Median is the formula that I gave you, n plus 1 over 2 Earth data value in order. So a model calculation for finding the median is as below. I'm going to space this out a bit better. Copy and paste that formula and then actually find it. So I'm going to do the model calculation using this. How many data values were there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 plus 1 over 2 Earth data value in order equals 13 6.5 data value. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's not in order though. I need to rearrange these. What's the lowest? It's the lowest data value, 208. That's 1. 208. 226. 2. 3. 4. 5. 5. 6th is 275.6667. 66667. And 7th is 281. 275.66667. And 281.33333 equals sum, add these together, 557 equals 557 divided by 2, 278.5. That's why our median is 278.5, so equals 278.5. That's the median. And what's the third measure of spread? The mode is the most commonly occurring data value, but this is not applicable for our results as they are continuous numerical data and there was no data that happened more than once. So we just explained, well, we haven't yet. Now I'm going to explain the measures of center are important for this investigation because the gamers and non-gamers groups have many results, and it is too hard to compare all their results at the same time. The measures of center allow us to summarize each group with a single number, which makes it easier to compare the groups to each other. Something along those lines, okay? So we don't need the spreadsheet anymore. The measures of center for the data groups are below. Now I helped you out a lot because I made you a table to pre-fill for the measures of center. You can see here, once you collect the raw data, these tables can be copied and pasted into your report as summary tables. So summary table goes into the measures of center section. Start on the next page. The measures of center for the data groups are below. Now, there's a whole bunch of maths that happened to get these numbers. You need to be able to tell the reader where this came from. So let's say first, table 1, measures of center for gamers and non-gamers. And then after this, you need to write a message to say complete calculations for all the measures of center can be found in appendix. We currently don't have any appendices. We need to put the actual maths that was done for this table into the assignment, but not to take up your page numbers. So I'm going to make an appendix now that contains the maths here, which is actually just a spreadsheet formula because you use the spreadsheet to find that. Appendices, appendix 1. So this is how you make an appendix when you're using a spreadsheet. Right now, this spreadsheet doesn't show the maths done. It just shows the results. Okay? But if I select all by pressing that and press Command Control tilde, tilde is the button, that little swirl on the left of 1 on your keyboard, you can see the maths that was entered, or the formulae that were entered to find the measures of spread and center. Okay? This will serve as your evidence that you actually did the maths and you just didn't copy and paste it. Okay? So I'm just rearranging it a little bit. I don't need that anymore. So I'm going to screenshot this. So go back into my Word, Appendix 1, Control X, Appendix 1, spreadsheet formulae for measures of center. Now, you'll realize that that screenshot is actually everything. So what I'll do is I'll copy and paste this for later, and I'll crop it so that we only see the measures of center. Oh no, actually no, I'll just do one. Measures of center and spread, because it all fits in the one. Okay, complete calculations can be found in Appendix 1. Done. So we've got model calculations. We've explained what measures of center are for. I have a little summary table for all of the measures of center for our two groups. Now you need a quick reflection on these. From the summary table, it is clear that the gamers had slightly lower mean and median reaction times in milliseconds compared to the non-gamers in our investigation. Okay? So that is math calculations for the measures of center. Let's do measures of spread. The next important calculations. the next important, not calculation, statistics. Calculated were the measures of spread. The range and interquartile range. These were found after finding the 5-number summaries of the gamer and non-gamer groups. So what do we need model calculations for? There's no calculation needed to find the 5-number summary. Okay, you just take the steps, but you need calculations for the range and interquartile range, so let's do that. The range is the overall spread of a data set. It is found with range equals maximum data value, take minimum data value, a model calculation for the range can be found below. Copy and paste that. Let's find a range from our data. I'll change this back, Control tilde. What was the range for the gamers? Maximum for the gamers was 382.67. Minimum 208.67 equals 174. The interquartile range is the spread of the middle 50% of a data set. It is found with interquartile range formula is quite similar. So just copy and paste it. Interquartile range equals Q3 minus Q1. A model calculation for the interquartile range can be found below. Paste what was the Q3. 304.92 Q1 251.5. What did I say the interquartile range was? 53.42. Is that right? Let's check it here. Q3 equals 304.92 minus 251.5, 53.42, yep. Equals 53.42. So we need a little blurb about what the measures of spread are for. The measures of center are important because... Okay, so we do something simpler. The measures of spread are important for the investigation because they tell us about the consistency of the gamer and non-gamer groups and their reflexes. So what do I do now? What did we do last time? Talked about the measures of center, put the table, let's do measures of spread and put the table. The measures of spread for the gamer and non-gamer groups can be found below. So a way to make this smaller, let's decrease the size. Cut it down a little bit so I've got more space to work with. So you can see this whole I'm recording everything so you can see the whole process. So later you can't really complain about it taking too long. You're getting 2 weeks, actually 2 or 3 weeks maybe to complete this. If the total of the videos is less than a couple of hours, you really don't have a situation where you can whinge about it. Just do it. Alright. So now we comment on the measures of spread. But first we need to caption it. Table 2. This is measures of center. Table 2 measures of spread for gamers and non-gamers. Complete calculations for all the measures of, well, because we put all of the calculations onto the one spreadsheet screenshot, we just point to the same place. Measures of spread can be found in Appendix 1. Just double check. There, you can see I calculated the measures of spread using this formula here, so the teacher can check if needed. Although I am the teacher and this is my assignment that I'm writing here, so I know. Okay. So now we comment from the summary table. It is clear from the summary table, it is clear that this time non-gamers were slightly better and showed greater consistency in their reflex results than the gamers. It would actually be better to refer to the results here. The non-gamers range was 147 milliseconds and inter-quartile range was 46.17 milliseconds versus the gamers range of 174 milliseconds and inter-quartile range of 53.42 milliseconds. I need to go back and do the same thing for the measures of center. The gamers had a mean of 281 milliseconds and median of 278.5 milliseconds compared to the non-gamers mean of 293.42 milliseconds and median of 290.5 milliseconds. Okay, so even though it says on the table, you want to write it out in the actual discussion there. I would like to box these. How do I put an outline? Design, draw, insert. I'd like to put an outline there. I can't work that out. Outside. Yep. Outside borders, just to separate it a little bit, neatening it up. median, mean, put line spaces between to make it look a bit nicer. Make that bold. Make this bold. So there is your maths calculations and how to do model calculations for your statistics DI. Also how to show appendices when you do a spreadsheet to do your maths. This applies in all the year levels from now on if you use a spreadsheet. So that leaves us, we have done maths calculations, no raw data, labeled graph, etc. State what the answer shows you. Yep, we said that after each table. That is done. We just have the analysis, discussion, conclusion left to do. Okay, so hopefully that helps you out. This is our maths report as it stands so far. Hopefully that helps you out, and I'll see you in the next... Why did that change? I'll see you in the next video.